All right, guys, I'm going to take a look at the first Microsoft Word project, the proposal plan draft. So it looks if you take a look at this, it's worth 20 points. There's going to be three projects for Microsoft Word, and this is the first one. I've gone through some. This has really been kind of fun working with you guys to kind of develop these. So these are actually from the Microsoft study guide, the actual projects to have you do. So to prepare you for potentially a Word certification. Not sure if we'll get a chance to take that. I'm still researching that and getting hold of it, but I want to make sure that you guys understand how to use a document. That's going to be really important in any IT career or any career, period, in the future or now. So you'll notice that every one of these assignments will have a scenario or goal. I would read the scenario. You're an employee at Munson's Pickles and Preserves Farm. The business is considering expanding to include a flower and plant nursery. Your job in this project is to act as an employee, evaluating research data and preparing the initial proposal plan document. So that's what the goal or the scenario. Your goal is to successfully complete all the tasks of the project guide to ensure the document is properly structured, accessible, and formatted for internal review. You'll see kind of a logo here. You'll come across that again. Skills covered: document management, text and paragraph formatting, data structure, and graphics and finalization. So you can kind of just see what these skills are. This is all kind of just a way for you to kind of see what it is you're supposed to learn based on the domains of the exam. Or the certification. Submit instructions, so follow every step in the step-by-step guide. The final step requires you to save the document as a PDF. Then submit the final PDF file to the team's assignment for a grade. Only two of you so far that have turned it in actually turn it in as a PDF. So I don't think you're reading the instructions. So let's take a look at the step-by-step guide. So it's right down here, the step-by-step guide. You just open that up. There's what it looks like. I just did some updates because I feel like maybe the instructions weren't as clear as really you needed them to be or I wanted to be in some of the feedback and some of your submissions of the people that have turned it in so far. So I did kind of an update. So you'll notice up here at the top, I have a dark theme. You can change it to a light theme and even a high contrast if you have issues with the colors on the screen. There's different ways you can do that. I personally prefer the dark theme, but however you look at it, I built in the themes so that you guys can use it any way you like. You can read through this overview before starting. So this is kind of an overview. One of the things that I want to note is that you want to open it in the Microsoft Word app on your computer, not open it in the browser. So there's a difference between opening it and editing it in the browser like you do with Google, and opening it in the app. So everything you're going to learn, a lot of the tools and such might not be available in the online version. So you want to make sure that you're opening it in the app. So some quick tips, how to use this guide. Follow each step using the navigation buttons at the bottom. You see that down at the bottom, the next, or arrow keys. You can use the arrow keys. I'll just do it real quick. You can see it just switches pages. Complete the action in Word before advancing to the next step. Use the Jump to Task drop down above to skip to specific tasks. So you can check off so that you can skip to tasks. Check off completed tasks using the checkbox at the top of each task. That's the kind of like if you need to go back and you make sure you completed it. So use the resources links provided for additional help. So each one of them will have like a resource link that you can go to that may even gives you screenshots and might give you this actual documentation from Microsoft. The resource links provide additional help. So time estimates. So you have some kind of an estimate as like how long should this task take? There's generally speaking, there will be some timing there. And then you can reset your progress with the reset button anytime. What that does is reset your entire progress. So I'll show you what that looks like. If I go next through a bunch of these, you notice that the progress steps here. You check them off. You'll notice if I go next, and come back, it's still checked off. But if you want to reset this process, you just hit reset and then you start over. There's some keyboard shortcuts if you want to play around with those, but I made those kind of uh, there on the first page for you. And then you'll notice down here at the bottom there's a legend. So as you see things that look like this, like click this in Word, text to select, I highlight them that way, or field or option, type or choose a value. So I wanted to make sure, and then Control S is save. So I wanted to make sure you knew that at every page. So if I hit next, for example, you'll notice that this takes about 2 to 3 minutes. Inspect the document and remove document properties and personal information and hidden text. You should be opening the file for the first time. Don't skip the re-inspect step. It confirms everything was removed. So there's just a couple tips. And then you have this resource here. You'll notice it shows you another way to do it. So it gives you a resource. But then here it says steps to complete in Word. You're going to open this file in Word. So the file that you want is right down here. At the bottom, it says required files. So this one, I'm going to download it. I'm just going to put it in my downloads folder, but you want to save it in your OneDrive, right? And you can save it for whatever you want. I'm going to hit save. You notice it downloads it, but what I want to do is I'm going to open that folder, find the file, and I'm going to open this in Word. Or you could open Word and go find the file, but you want this to actually open in Word. There we go. I'm just going to kind of close these. But as you can see, this is in the Word program. This is not in the browser, right? So you have all the settings. The first one takes you into inspect document, right? Then it has you do stuff in those steps. So you can see that's how you want to open the file so that you can edit it. One of the things we need to learn is what is a file and how those get stored correctly, how to create that into a PDF, which I'll do real quick. It's the last step. File. We're going to save a copy and you just change this to PDF right there. Okay. So that being said, let's go back to the. So here's your first steps. You can do the steps. When you re-inspect it, if you do that inspection again, you should see no items were found. So that's kind of that tip on the re-inspection. And you'll notice that I keep this legend throughout. So your required files are down here. Those are hard to read, and maybe I'll change the color on those. If they're hard to read, let me know. But you kind of get the idea. But you're going to want to go through each step, and then your document should look a certain way when you're finished. It should be saved as a PDF and then submitted. Each one of these projects will be set up this way. Of course, I'm always looking for feedback. I've gotten a ton of feedback from students already. So anyways, I hope this video helps get you through this.